What would you do if fear stopped running your life? What decision would you make today if hesitation wasn't in the room? Because here's the truth most people never face. Fear is already shaping your life right now, quietly, consistently, not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because you were never taught how to use it. Fear has stopped conversations, stopped careers, stopped relationships, stopped dreams before they ever had a chance to breathe. And yet, the people you admire most, they feel fear too. The difference is simple. They don't listen to it. Today, that changes for you. By the end of this video, fear will still show up, but it will no longer be in control. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is not evil. Fear is not broken. Fear is not here to destroy you. Fear is a signal. It's your nervous system doing its job, trying to protect you, trying to keep you alive. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It cares about comfort, familiarity, predictability, no purpose, not confidence, not becoming more than you are today. That's why fear shows up when you grow. Every time you step outside what's familiar, every time you raise your standards, every time you move towards something bigger, fear speaks up. And most people hear that voice and think, something must be wrong. But nothing is wrong. That feeling in your chest, that tightness in your stomach, that hesitation in your mind, that's not dangerous, that's expansion. Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means stretch. Let me ask you something, and be honest. When was the last time fear showed up right before something meaningful happened in your life? A new job opportunity, a hard conversation you knew you needed to have, a decision that could change your future. Fear was there, not to ruin the moment, not to sabotage you. It arrived to test you, to see if you would retreat or rise. Here's the truth most people never learn. Fear gets louder when you listen to it. Fear gets stronger when you negotiate with it. Every time you avoid the thing you know you should do, fear takes notes. It learns what controls you. And the next time, it shows up faster, louder, more convincing. Avoidance feeds fear. It trains your brain to believe you're not capable. But action starves fear. Even imperfect action, even shaky action, even action taken with your heart pounding. Action sends a powerful message to your brain. I can handle this. And once your brain learns that, fear starts to lose its grip. Ask yourself this right now. What have I been avoiding that I know would move my life forward? What conversation? What decision? What first step? Because the size of your fear is often equal to the size of your potential. Fear doesn't show up when you play small. It shows up when you're about to level up. So don't ask, how do I get rid of fear? Ask a better question. What is fear trying to prepare me for? Because on the other side of that fear is growth, strength, a version of you that trusts yourself more. Fear is not your enemy. It's the doorway, and the only way through is forward. You are not your fear. Here's where most people lose their game. They don't lose because they lack talent. They don't lose because they lack opportunity. They lose because of the words they use. They say, I am afraid. That sentence sounds harmless, but it quietly locks fear into your identity. And identity is powerful. You are not afraid. You experience fear. That distinction can change everything. Fear is a sensation, a rush of chemicals, a protective response. You are the one noticing it. You are the observer. Fear is the visitor. And here's the truth. When you identify with fear, it controls your decisions. It chooses your words. It limits your actions. It shrinks your world. But when you observe fear, without judgment, without panic, it starts to weaken. Because awareness creates space, and space creates choice. Ask yourself this right now. Is fear telling me the truth, or is it just trying to keep me comfortable? Fear is not logical. It is not precise. It is not objective. Fear exaggerates. It assumes the worst. It predicts disaster without proof. It whispers, what if you fail? What if they judge you? What if you're not enough? But fear never asks, what if you succeed? What if this works? What if you grow? The moment you stop taking fear personally, you take your power back. Fear is not a character flaw. It is not a verdict on your potential. It is not a sign you should stop. It's just information. And information can be questioned. So question it. What evidence do I actually have? What's the real risk here? What's the cost of staying where I am? Because staying stuck has a price too. You don't need to fear disappearing. That's not the goal. The goal is movement. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action in the presence of it. Every time you move forward while fear is present, you train your mind to trust you. And trust is what creates confidence. Fear fades when it's ignored, but strength grows when it's challenged. So the next time fear shows up, don't panic, pause, breathe, observe, say to yourself, I feel fear and I move anyway. Because you are not your fear. You are the one who decides what happens next. Confidence comes after action. Let's kill a lie right now. A lie that has kept millions of people stuck. Smart people, capable people, people with real potential. The lie is this. You become confident and then you act. That's backwards. Confidence is not the starting point, it's the result. You act first. Confidence follows. Every confident person you admire, they didn't wake up fearless. They didn't feel ready. They felt committed. Committed to moving forward even while their hands were shaking, even while their heart was racing, even while doubt was loud. No one feels ready before a big step. No one feels fearless before growth. Waiting to feel confident is how people stay stuck for years. Ask yourself honestly, how long have you been waiting to feel ready? Months? Years? A lifetime? Motivation comes and goes. But momentum changes everything. Momentum builds belief. Momentum creates proof. Momentum silences doubt. And momentum only comes from movement. Make the decision fast. Move immediately. 5 seconds. No overthinking, no rehearsing, no mental debate. Because hesitation is where fear wins. Fear loves delays. Fear loves someday. Fear loves excuses that sound reasonable. But action disrupts fear's control. Even imperfect action, even messy action, even action taken with uncertainty. Ask yourself this question and don't dodge it. What would my future self thank me for doing today? Not next year, not someday, today. That phone call you've been avoiding, that application you haven't sent, that conversation you keep replaying in your head. Do that. Because action does more than solve problems. Action changes identity. Every time you act despite fear, you reinforce a new self-image. I'm someone who shows up. I'm someone who follows through. I'm someone who can handle discomfort. And identity shapes destiny. Your life doesn't change when you think differently. It changes when you behave differently. So don't wait for confidence. Create it. Move first. Decide fast. Trust the process. Because the person you're becoming is built in the moments you choose action over hesitation. And that choice is always available. Control your body, control your mind. Fear doesn't start in your thoughts. It starts in your body. Before the doubt, before the story, before the excuse. The body reacts first. Shallow breathing, collapsed shoulders, a tight jaw, tension everywhere. Your body senses uncertainty and sounds the alarm. And then your mind follows. Here's what most people get wrong. They try to think their way out of fear. They analyze, they reason, they wait for clarity. But clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from changing your state. Change the body. Change the state. Stand tall, chest open, head up. Breathe deep, slow, intentional. Move with purpose, even if you don't feel it yet, because your body tells your brain what's real. When your body is strong, your mind starts to believe you are strong. When your body collapses, your mind assumes danger. Strong body, clear mind, weak body, fearful thoughts. This is biology, not motivation. Think about it. Have you ever felt confident while slouched still and holding your breath? Of course not. Your posture is a signal. Your breath is a command. And most people never use them. They wait for confidence instead of creating it. You don't think your way into confidence. You move your way into it. Right now, ask yourself, how am I using my body when fear shows up? Do you shrink? Do you freeze? Do you hesitate? Or do you expand? Because courage has a physical form. It looks like a presence. It sounds like steady breathing. It feels like grounded movement. So ask yourself another question. What does courage look like in my body? Does it stand tall? Does it breathe fully? Does it move forward? Then become that. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. Because when your body leads, your mind follows. And once your mind follows, fear loses its grip. Control your body. Control your state. Control your life. Micro bravery builds fearlessness. You don't conquer fear in one moment. There is no single leap that erases it forever. You shrink fear daily, quietly, consistently, small acts, bold choices, repeated courage. That's how fear loses ground. Most people wait for a big breakthrough, a dramatic turning point, a moment where everything changes. But fear doesn't disappear in explosions. It fades through repetition. Speak first, even when your voice feels tight. Raise your hand, even when you're unsure. Make the call, even when your heart is racing. These moments matter more than you think. They stack. Every small win sends a message to your brain. I did it. I survived. I can handle this. And that message gets louder with time. Courage compounds. What felt impossible last month feels uncomfortable today. What feels uncomfortable today feels normal tomorrow. Then one day you look back and realize the things that once terrified you don't even register anymore. Not because you became fearless overnight, but because you practice bravery daily. Here's the truth. Fearless people aren't extreme. They're not reckless. They're not superheroes. They're consistent. They don't wait for confidence. They don't wait for certainty. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They move anyway. Ask yourself this. Where am I asking fear for permission? What small action have I been avoiding that keeps showing up on my mental to-do list? Be honest. Is it a message you haven't sent? A question you haven't asked? A step you keep postponing? Now ask a better question. Does this take less than 5 minutes? Most of the time, the answer is yes. Fear loves to make small things feel heavy. It turns simple actions into mountains. But the moment you move, the mountain shrinks. Subdue it today. Not perfectly, not confidently, just intentionally, because that's how identity changes. You don't wake up one day fearless. You become the kind of person who acts despite fear. And once you see yourself that way, everything shifts. One small act, one brave decision, repeated daily. That's how fear loses. Fear means you're growing. Reframe this. Fear does not mean danger. Fear means expansion. It means you're stepping beyond what you know, beyond what's familiar, beyond what feels safe. And that's not a warning sign. That's a growth signal. Every level of life demands a new version of you. New skills, new standards, new ways of thinking. And every new version of you feels uncomfortable at first. That discomfort isn't failure. It's an adjustment. Think about it. Every first day at a new job, every move to a new place, every time you stepped into a new role, uncomfortable, awkward, uncertain, but necessary. If you're not scared, you're probably playing too small, because fear doesn't show up when you stay where you are. It shows up when you reach for more. Here's the part most people avoid. Comfort is expensive. It charges interest every day you stay there. It costs you growth. It costs you confidence. It costs you the life you could be living. Comfort tells you, stay where it's easy. Don't risk it. Be grateful for what you have. But comfort never asks, is this still who you're meant to be? Ask yourself this and don't rush past it. What am I pretending is fine, but secretly know I've outgrown? Is it a routine that no longer excites you? A role that no longer challenges you? A version of yourself that no longer fits? Growth begins the moment honesty shows up. Fear is not trying to stop you. It's trying to aim at you. It's pointing toward the edge of your comfort zone, toward the next level of your life. Listen carefully, not to panic, not to the worst case stories. Listen to the direction, because fear always points forward. And on the other side of it is the version of you haven't met yet. Becoming a fearless identity. Fearlessness is not a feeling. Feelings change. Standards don't. Fearlessness is a decision, a line you draw, a choice about who you are, no matter the mood, the moment, or the pressure. You don't wake up fearless. You decide to live that way. You don't wait for courage. You act with integrity. You do what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one is watching. That's where real strength is built. You don't run from discomfort. You don't label it as a problem. You use it. Discomfort becomes proof you're growing, proof you're stretching, proof you're alive. And every time you keep your word to yourself, something powerful happens. Self-trust grows. Not overnight, not all at once, but steadily. Fear loses leverage when you trust your ability to handle life. Think about it. Fear screams loudest when you doubt yourself. But when you know, deep down, that you can handle setbacks, handle rejection, handle hard days, fear has nothing to threaten you with. Ask yourself this: do I trust myself to follow through, or do I keep making promises I don't keep? Because confidence is built when your actions match your standards. So start here. Say this to yourself and mean it. I do hard things. I move even when I'm scared. I trust myself, not as motivation, as identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes destiny. And destiny is not decided by one big moment. It's shaped by daily choices, small decisions, quiet commitments. When you choose your standards choose your future. So decide, who are you when fear shows up? Who do you become when things get uncomfortable? Because fearlessness isn't about never feeling fear. It's about refusing to let fear decide who you are. Final emotional moment. 1 year from now, pause and picture it. Your life will look different, not by accident, by choice. It will be shaped by the fears you faced or the fears you obeyed. There is no neutral ground. Every day, you're choosing to step forward or to step back. And the choice is already in front of you. Fear will knock. It always does. Let it. But don't hand it the keys. Don't let it decide your schedule, your conversations, your future. Fear is allowed to show up. It's not allowed to lead. Ask yourself this: 1 year from today, will I be proud of how I handled fear? Will I be stronger because I leaned in instead of backing away? Take one brave action today. Not 10. Not tomorrow. Just one. One honest conversation. One bold decision. One step you've been delaying. That single action matters more than you think. And when fear shows up again, because it will, don't panic. Smile. Smile because you recognize it now. Smile because you understand the signal. Fear is not a stop sign, it's direction. It points toward growth, toward change, toward the next version of you. And you were not built to stay stuck. You were built to adapt, to rise, to move forward. So take the step. Your future is waiting. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe.